Hi there, in this video we are going to look at mixed examples of Pythagoras and identifying when do we add in the formula, when do we take away in the formula. So some will be finding the hypotenuse, some will be finding a shorter side. So by the end of this, hopefully we'll maybe have a better idea of when to use which variation. So I've got 3 examples, let's have a wee look. So before I go into examples, just to reiterate that the longest side is always the one opposite the right angle, the hypotenuse. Okay, but I'll tend to talk about long side and short sides. That is the longest side. If you're finding the longest side, you add. Okay, so down here it says long side, you add. And if you know the long side and are maybe looking for A or B, these shorter 2 sides, then you subtract. Okay, basically this side here, this longest side, should always be the biggest number. So if that comes out, if you're working out one of these 2 sides here, the A or the B, and it happens to be longer than that one, then something's gone wrong. You've probably added when you should have taken away. Okay, so let's have a look at my examples. Right, number 1, I am looking for this side marked X along the top there. So first thing to notice is across on the right angle is 12. So this one is your hypotenuse. We know the long side. That means X is a short side. So this is going to be a takeaway. So X squared equals 12 squared minus 7 squared. And that gives us 95. And the square root of 95 is, to 2 decimal places, 9.75. Okay? If you accidentally added the numbers and did 12 squared add 7 squared, you would have come out with 193. And when you square root 193, you get 13.89. Now just from looking at the triangle, the 12 is the slope, it is the longest side. So an answer of 13 is not going to be right, it's too big. So that's maybe something to look out for. Make sure, look at your answer and look back at the triangle. Okay, the slope should always be the longest one. So the correct answer there is 9.75 centimetres to 2 decimal places. And basically we can ignore what I said over here about that bit. Okay. Example 2. So across in the right angle is the one we're finding out this time. So we're finding out the slope of the hypotenuse. So we're finding a long side, so we are adding. So x squared equals 15 squared plus 8 squared, which gives us 289. And when you square root 289, you actually get a nice whole number. You get 17 centimetres. Okay, and 17 is longer than the 8 and the 15, so I've done it the right way in that one. Okay. My third example starts to look at a context question. In this one here, I've got a flag. I don't know if this is a real flag or not, but it has got a flag. And they've drawn in a diagonal line, and the question wants to know what the diagonal line is. Now that diagonal creates a right angle triangle. Okay, every flag should be a perfect rectangle. Hence, this is a right angle triangle in here. And opposite sides are equal, so that means that the yellow up and down side here is also 1.8. So I am finding the side across on the right angle. So I am finding the slope again, the hypotenuse. So this is going to be an add. So let's call x. So x squared is 2.5 squared plus 1.8 squared. And this gives us, if you type it in, 9.49. And the square root of 9.49 is 3.08 metres, and that is to 2 decimal places. Okay, so that was testing that we remember opposite sides in a rectangle are the same. The fourth and final example is using an image of a pencil, okay? And this one wants to know the width of the pencil, so the bit that's marked W on the yellow. Now, we have to assume that this pencil is perfectly sharpened, and this is actually an isosceles triangle turned on its side. So I'm going to extract a right angle triangle. So here is the right angle triangle here, where we know that 9 is from the tip of the pencil to our line, and 11 is our slope. And we want this bit over here. Now that will only be half of the width of the full pencil if I work that out. So across in the right angle is 11. So we know the long side, so x is a short side. Short side means you take away. So we're going to do x squared equals 11 squared take away 9 squared. Remember, always start with the biggest number or you'll get a negative. And that gives us 40. And the square root of 40 to 2 decimal places is 6.32. So the width of the pencil is 2 times 6.32, which is 12.64 millimetres this time, and that's it to 2 decimal places. Okay, so that's me showing you 4 kind of context questions, 4 mixed questions, and the hardest bit is just identifying, do I add or am I taking away? So just remember, if you know the slope, if you know the side across in the right angle, you are taking away. If you are finding the slope, the side across in the right angle, then it is an add. Okay, so I hope you followed these okay. Good luck. Thanks.